Welcome to the discussion. So far, we have discussed and studied the different types of preliminary, primary, and secondary treatments and operations available for the wastewater treatment. All those treatments required a land, money, skilled supervision for the efficient operation of all those processes. But if suppose the land is not available, skilled supervision is not available, in that case we have to go for the low cost treatment method which are exclusively applicable for the rural areas. So in this particular discussion we are going to study the low cost treatment methods for the rural areas. In this discussion, first of all we will focus on the oxidation pond. These are the contents that we are going to cover during our discussion. First, introduction, then classification, bacterial algal symbiosis, and design of oxidation pond. Let us start with the introduction. Such type of oxidation ponds are provided for the wastewater treatment. So, oxidation pond, what exactly is the oxidation pond? Oxidation pond are the open, large, shallow earthen basin of controlled shape. They are designed and constructed to treat the wastewater through the interaction of sunlight, bacteria and algae. As you can see in the figure, a simple earthen basin is provided in which the wastewater is discharged, and because of the interaction of sunlight, bacteria and algae, the wastewater treatment or the decomposition is carried out. It is a low cost biological treatment system in which stabilization of organic material is carried out by the bacterial oxidation and or photosynthetic reduction of the algae. These ponds considered as a completely mixed biological reactor without solid return. So in this particular type of oxidation pond, there will be no solid returns, as from this particular pond we are not taking any effluent from it and we are not returning the sludge into the system. So it is called as a completely mixed biological reactor. Stabilization pond provide a long detention period for a stabilization of waste under the action of natural processes. As the natural means are used for the decomposition and the stabilization of organic matter like wind, heat, fermentation, etc. So the stabilization pond required a longer detention period, or we can say for a long period we have to retain the wastewater in such type of ponds. Due to the low construction and operational cost, this method is widely used in the rural areas to treat the wastewater. Also used for the initial treatment of industrial wastewater or for tertiary treatment of the domestic wastewater. The oxidation ponds are classified as aerobic, anaerobic and facultative, that is both type of actions are occurred or observed. Such type of ponds are called as a facultative, that is aerobic and anaerobic. Let us first discuss the aerobic oxidation pond. It is also called as a algae pond. Large shallow earthen pond used for the treatment of wastewater by algae and bacteria. Therefore, these ponds are also called as algae ponds. Used for nutrient removal, treatment of soluble organic waste and effluents from wastewater treatment plants. Pond contain enormous algae and bacteria which are in suspension. For the treatment of domestic waste, the depth is kept in between 1 to 1.2 meter. Length to width ratio is depend on geometry of land, but it should not exceed to 3:1. So if length is 3, then width should be 1. Dissolved oxygen is maintained throughout the entire depth of the pond. As oxidation pond word we are using, so it is very important that we should maintain the dissolved oxygen throughout the depth. Oxygen is supplied by the natural surface aeration and by algal photosynthesis. Microbial population present inside the pond is similar to the ASP except the algal blooms. So, the same principle which is taken place in the activated sludge process, on the same principle the oxidation ponds are operated. Here only the difference is that here the algae are also playing a major role as the photosynthesis as the photosynthesis also occurring in this, and the algal blooms can be observed on the top of the oxidation ponds. Then bacterial algal symbiosis. Now what exactly is happening during the stabilization of wastewater in the oxidation pond is the bacterial algal symbiosis. Now what is the symbiosis between the bacterial algae? Let us see. Sewage containing organic matter is essential food for bacteria, which stabilize the organic material by oxidizing it and releases carbon dioxide, which is taken up by the algae for their growth. And algae produces more oxygen and algal cells that helps in maintaining aerobic condition inside the pond. Along with the algae and the bacteria, protozoa and rotifier are also present under certain loading condition that helps in polishing the effluent. So what does it mean? Now here if you see the figure, it is very clear that the bacteria and algae are present in the wastewater. Bacteria take up the organic matter from the wastewater. They produces a new cell mass, and during their metabolism they produces the CO2 and NH3, that is ammonia, which is a food for the algae. Algae as it contains the chlorophyll, so in presence of the sunlight during the photosynthesis they produces a new cell mass. They take up the carbon dioxide and ammonia produced by the bacteria, and they releases the oxygen, and the oxygen will be taken up by the bacteria. So there is no need of providing the oxygen from externally. Oxygen produced by the algae is taken up by the bacteria itself, and they further use this oxygen for the decomposition and the stabilization of the organic matter, and the cycle will get repeat, and this entire process is called as a bacteria algal symbiosis, because the bacteria take the help of algae and algae take the help of bacteria. So by the mutual action and the processes, the entire stabilization of organic matter is taking place in the oxidation pond. Then the anaerobic oxidation pond. As the name suggests, the anaerobic, so definitely it does not contain the oxygen, and the anaerobic bacteria are responsible for the decomposition of the organic matter. So let us see what anaerobic oxidation ponds are. Deep earthen pond receiving high organic loading such as anaerobic condition prevail throughout the entire depth of the pond. As compared to the aerobic oxidation pond, the depth of the anaerobic oxidation pond is greater. So because of the greater depth of the earthen pond or the oxidation pond, it is very difficult for the sunlight to enter up to the bottom, and because of that the oxygen will not get created, and it leads to the anaerobic condition. Used for the treatment of domestic and industrial waste. In this system, free DO is not available in the water. Hence, the anaerobic bacteria is survived by the extracting and consuming the bounded molecular oxygen present in some compounds like sulfate, nitrates, etc. So, the anaerobic bacteria take up the oxygen present in the SO4, or that is sulfate, nitrates and other nutrients. Anaerobic decomposition of waste takes place in the two phases. Decomposition of dissolved oxygen waste by acid producing bacteria into organic acid, that is acetic, propionic and butyric acid. Further decomposition of these acids to the end product of CH4, CO2 and H2O by methane producing bacteria. This pond required less surface area as compared to the aerobic oxidation pond. Pond depth ranges from 2.5 to 5 meter and length to width ratio is 2:1. So this is what is happening in this particular anaerobic oxidation pond. So, the organic matter is taken up by the acid forming bacteria. They produces the acid like propionic acid, butyric acid and so on, and the new bacterial cell mass. Then this the way then it goes to the methane, then the methane forming bacteria becomes active. They form the CH4, CO2 and H2O, which leads to the foul smell to the anaerobic ponds. The oxygen organic acids used by the methane forming bacteria and the anaerobic decomposition is taking place. Then whatever new bacteria cells are produced, they again they are supplied to the acid forming bacteria. So, the cycle repeats and thus the stabilization of the organic matter is carried out. Then the facultative oxidation pond. This pond combines the features of aerobic and anaerobic ponds. They are often about 1 to 2 meter in depth and favor algal growth along with the growth of aerobic, anaerobic and facultative microorganism. Such ponds are predominantly aerobic during the daylight. In the few remaining hours, the pond bottom may turns the aerobic. So, both the types of zones are available and can be observed in such type of ponds. Usually during the daylight, as the sun light is available, so the algae will become active, and because of that it will become the aerobic because the algae releases the oxygen due to their metabolism and the photosynthesis process. And during the night time, as they releases the carbon dioxide and oxygen will start depleting, because during the night time that it will turn as a anaerobic pond. The facultative pond consists of 3 zones: top zone, bottom zone and intermediate zone. Top zone is the aerobic zone in which algal photosynthesis with aerobic biodegradation occurs, whereas bottom zone, anaerobic zone, wastewater settled by the anaerobic bacteria under the anaerobic decomposition, and the intermediate zone, the anaerobic and aerobic, in which the decomposition of organic matter takes place by the facultative bacteria. Means according to the type, the facultative means they changes their type and they changes their action, and because of that they can become aerobic and also the anaerobic and anaerobic also. The top aerobic layer act as a good check against the odor evolution from the pond. As the top layer is aerobic, because of that the odor will not be released from the pond. Depth of this pond varies between 1 to 1.5 meter. This pond is most commonly used for treatment of sewage. Most of the stabilization pond in India is facultative in nature. There are certain mechanisms of purification in the facultative pond. In this pond, the organic matter is stabilized by the bacterial oxidation in the top layer and by methane fermentation in the bottom layer, as you can see in the figure. In facultative zone, facultative bacteria oxidizes the incoming organic as well as end product of anaerobic decomposition from the bottom layer of the anaerobic zone. When the sewage is entered in the pond, the suspended organic matter in the influent as well as the bioflocculated colloidal organic matter settles at the bottom of the pond. In absence of DO at the bottom of the pond, that settled sludge undergoes the anaerobic fermentation and liberates the methane, indicates the removal of BOD from the system. In liquid layer, above bottom sludge layer, the algae begins to grow under the favorable condition. During daylight, algae utilizes CO2 for the photosynthesis and liberate the oxygen, which helps to maintain aerobic condition in the top layer. In presence of this oxygen aerobic bacteria oxidizing the organic matter. So, this is the mechanism of purification in facultative ponds. Design of oxidation pond. So surface area of the tank may be worked out by assuming suitable volume of organic loading, which may range from 300 to 150 kg per hectare per day in hot tropical countries like India, and it is 90 to 60 kg per hectare per day for cooler countries situated in high altitude. Length should be twice the width. Depth should be ranged in between 1 to 1.5 meter, and freeboard should be provided 1 meter. So after considering the freeboard, the depth should be finalized. Detention period for stabilization varies from 7 days to 42 days or so. It can be roughly estimated by using the formula. Detention period in days is equal to 1 divided by KD or PT. You can use any term for this KD, or you can use the PT also. Log base 10 in bracket L minus L divided by L minus Y bracket close, where L is the BOD of effluent entering the pond, Y the BOD removal says 90% of L or 95% of L, whereas KD or P suffix D is the BOD removal constant. Usually at 20 degrees centigrade it is approximately 0.1 per day, and at another temperature it can be determined by the following formula, that is K suffix D into T is equal to K suffix D into 20 degree. So it is a removal constant at 20 degrees centigrade in bracket 1.047 raised to T minus 20. Note, properly operated pond may provide BOD removal up to 90% and coliform removal up to 99%. The organic loading in the kg of BOD per hectare per day can be estimated using the following formula, that is L0 is equal to 10 in bracket D minus T D divided by T into BOD L, where L0 is the organic BOD loading in kg per hectare per day, then D is the depth of the pond in meter, T is the detention time in days, BODL is the ultimate soluble BOD in mg per liter. Whereas the correction for the elevation is carried out by using the formula 1 plus 0.003 EL, where EL stands for elevation of the pond site above the MSL in 100 meters. That is, if it is 900, divide it by 900 and you have to take EL as a 9. Whereas the correction for sky clearance will be calculated by this formula, 100 divided by 100 plus 3 into T divided by 10. Note, increase area when sky clearance clear for the less than 75% of the day. For every 10% decrease in the sky clearance below 75%, then increase the pond area by 3%. So it is very clear that if suppose for every 10% decrease in the sky clearance below the 75%, then for per 10% decrease, 3% increase should be there in the pond area, so that the sufficient area will be available for the photosynthesis and for the sunlight. If the area is above the 75%, then there is no need of carrying out the sky clearance. Then the correction factor for aerial BOD. After calculating the elevation correction and sky clearance, we can calculate the correction for BOD, where aerial BOD divided by elevation correction into 100 divided by sky correction. So whatever values we will get in the elevation correction and sky clearance, you have to put in this formula and you will get the corrected aerial BOD. Yield of photosynthesis O2 and recommended BOD loading will be latitude. If it is 36 degree north, then yield of photosynthesis will be taken as 150 and aerial BOD as 150, and so on. So if the latitude is 8 degree north, then it will be the yield of photosynthesis will be 325 and the aerial BOD will be also the 325. There are certain advantages that we are getting by the oxidation pond. First advantage, Oxidation ponds are quite suitable for hot dry countries like India, suitable for small cities or towns where large land area are cheaply available. Oxidation pond treatment is very cheap, the capital cost being a 10 to 30% less than the conventional unit. Maintenance cost is less with no skill supervision required. Do not upset due to the fluctuation of organic loading. But it is having certain disadvantages also. So what are those? First is main disadvantage is nuisance due to mosquito breeding and bad odor. Useful in rural areas only. Effluent standard of 30 mg per liter is not met for the suspended solid. So in this particular video, we have discussed about the principle of oxidation pond, type of oxidation pond and design of oxidation pond. Numerical based on the design of oxidation ponds are available in the PDF 4.2. Download and watch it. Thank you for watching.